Hello, hello, hello. I love that intro. I'm always dancing. I think sometimes I let it go even a little bit longer just so I can enjoy it even more. It's so awesome and chill. So, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And boy, do I have a treat for you. So, oh man, so before we begin, okay, so last year, was it even last year? It might have been, yeah, beginning of last year, I was introduced to this form of healing and transformation that completely blew my mind. And it's a combination of biology and psychology and art and the beauty of art and using those two to transform your life, the different areas of your life. And I'm still on this journey and it continues to blow my mind. And last year I did a program with my goddess sister, and we'll come to her soon. And it the process that, well, what am I looking for? Opened up for me through that, has been powerful. And so today I'm bringing this beautiful goddess here with me so that we can talk about, and you guys have probably seen my arts. I talk about neurographic art all the time. We're going to be talking about this. And also one thing that she is offering at this time, that if you're ready for transformation, like, you need to like jump on it immediately. So before I get ahead of myself, hello sister, hello, and thank you for joining me today. It's been a while. I feel like the last time we connected like this was probably last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me.
It was time. So I know not everybody knows you, so let's go ahead and start with a good introduction so people know who you are. So tell us who you are and what is your service in the world, my dear?
Okay, my name is Antje Howard. I am an artist and a teacher, and I like to understand myself as a guide for transformational processes through the help of art, with the help of art. That's what I'm mostly working on right now. There's a few other little things, but yeah, that's my main focus, is working with this method that's called Neurographica and guiding people into inner experiences and inner transformation with the help of the art.
Yes. And, I don't know if you call yourself this, but you are totally a shaman teacher, like hands down, hands down. Like, I think I told you this the first time I came to your class. I was like, are you seriously? Like, the way you have a way of weaving the wisdom of shamanism into your work. And it's mind blowing. It's simply mind blowing. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny. I kind of realized that I had this gift when I started running women's circles. I did that for a few years here. And I was guiding these guided meditations, and I felt that I went myself just into a different place. And I was just talking about what I see. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but it's like automatically it creates a space that, yeah, I'm like a deep diver. I have to admit that, definitely. I'm like a going down with the stuff.
Absolutely. I've experienced it. I continue to see you dive in deeper and transform it. So, for those, for people who are like, okay, what is this beautiful art? Like Abigail has been mentioning and always inviting us to free classes. So let's start with that. What is neurographic art? And I'm actually going to highlight you right now so you can just talk away. And I'll be back after, okay?
Thank you. Okay, so neurographic art. It's not something that I created. It was created by a Russian psychology professor and artist whose name is Pavel Piskarev. And he created what I understand as a container, a process, a space where we work with very simple and abstract creative means. We draw lines, we draw circles, we use colors, And we give meaning to every single part in a picture. And I think, like, for me personally, that is one of the main things that makes Neurographica unique, is that we are bringing our life onto the piece of paper with very abstract forms. And then the second part that is very unique to it is that the drawing actually becomes a meditation. And this is how I usually guide it when I guide processes. We observe the body, we observe the emotions, we look at or like just listen to our thoughts as they come and go. And at the same time, we're doing this drawing. So there is like this kind of relationship between the drawing that we create and what we see and the inner experience. And we focus on this relationship. We kind of consciously go back and forth. And what that does is that it helps us to create new thoughts in a very simple way. It helps us to see things from a different perspective, to find new ideas, to get stuck things unstuck. You know, if we're like going in circles and circles, once we draw about it, we can see aspects of what we're working with that were formerly invisible. And I think that the idea that we create something very abstract and infuse it with meaning that has meaning for our life, for our personal story, that really makes the magic in this art. And it is so simple that anyone who can hold a pen can draw. So you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have any like prior knowledge. You don't have to have talent. It's really all about just exploring with this very simple method.
Yes, I love that you said that you don't have to be an artist, because I don't consider myself an artist at all. And I remember when I saw some of your drawings, I was like, I have no idea how we're gonna create that. But again, it's the way you lead us through. You really get us to that deeper place of centeredness into our hearts, and then allow the inner world to be expressed through our hands and through the tools that we use, and the colors, the pens. And when you're done with it, you're looking like, whoa, I created that. And not, the other thing that you said that I love about neurographic art is, the first time I saw one, I was like, it looks like neurons in the brain. And what you said is that it changes your mind, it reprograms your mindset. And that's another thing I love about neurographic art, the psychology part of it, where it is creating new neural pathways, especially when we use it to like solve problems and gain new perspective. Like, it is working physically in our brains as we are putting it on paper. And it's such a beautiful tool that I feel like more people need to discover this. And so, yeah, it just, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like, I can praise it until heaven, come down. It's so powerful. And I continue to be on this journey, which you can see some of my arts in the back. And I have some of the one from the series we did last year that I'm going to share. But yeah, it's like, oh man, you just have to experience it. And she's going to offer you an opportunity to actually experience it. So before we go into that, last year I jumped into your ancestral series. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was very new to neurographic art. And again, what pulled me in was when you said you don't have to be an artist. Just come, just show up. And oh my gosh, so you can see there's two behind me of the Ancestral Mandalas that we did. It just is so powerful. There's one that is not there, the last one, and she'll go into what this program is, but I wanted to showcase some of my journey. There's one that is not on the wall. It was where you choose an ancestor and use that. I chose my grandmother, and it took me, which if you remember, it took me a while to finish that. It took me probably like 3 months to finish that. And I remember looking at that. I should have grabbed it. I remember looking at that, and I was like, why did I choose her? She looks like spirit. She looks like spirit. I had, like every time, like I was hesitant to even stare at the picture. There was a little fear there. And my grandmother actually passed the beginning of this year. And now when I look at it, I'm like, oh, she was getting ready.
Wow,
She was
I get
getting ready.
goosebumps. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
It was so powerful. And this is the first one that we did. And I'm curious to see what the evolution will be when we do this a second time. But this is the roots. And, she'll go into more details. It looks very simple, but trust me, the alchemy that goes with this little thing here, it is mind blowing. You step in as like your old self, and you step out of that session completely new and physically new, because you have new neural pathways and neurons that have formed. Like, it's incredible. So my dear, tell us about this ancestral series that is just getting me so excited over here.
Thank you. Wow, I love that you started with your grandma. That, yeah, brings me to how I actually started doing this work was when my own grandma passed. I live in the US. I'm originally from Germany, so she was in Germany. That was in 2019, and I could not go to see my family. So I could not participate in any of the usual rituals to let an ancestor go, let a family member go. And I remember that day, I just had this kind of inspiration, and I took a picture of her, a photograph. I started drawing on top of it. And it turned into like a several days long process. And I would like stop in between and look at the picture and put a candle on. And I really used the art for my own process of letting go, and for this like kind of wishing her well and just connecting with her. And then from there on, I started offering these ancestral drawing experiences. And for me, it's kind of like the autumn time thing.
Yes,
Like
it's perfect timing.
autumn time is for me like the time where naturally we kind of go more inwards and we kind of connect to ourselves more. We get more down into our own roots. And the processes that I developed for the series, it's like a step. Now, every drawing goes a little bit deeper. We start with the roots, which for me is a beautiful process because I'm like in a way uprooted. No, I don't live on the land where I was born, where my ancestors live. I live in a different place. And working with roots, with this idea of how can I root myself in this place, in maybe a culture, and finding all the things that nurture us in our own roots. That's like the idea of the first process. And it's like when we go into the drawing itself, it's like a story unfolding.
Yes.
And yeah, this is like what I want to give with that. The second process that we do, Abigail also mentioned, that is the Ancestor Mandala, which is a beautiful, beautiful process where we go in touch with 7 generations. We go further and further out. And it's really amazing to just see like all these, we draw every ancestor as a little circle in the drawing. Then you see like all these circles, and you see like all these people came together to create me. So it has like this very deep kind of realization of who you are, and it for me really gives me this, yeah, I'm meant to be here. I have all of this happen so that I could be here, and really just honoring and acknowledging that.
Oh man,
And then
before you go to the next one, so let me see if I can show so that people see what you're talking about. Like the Ancestral Mandala, that's another one that took a while for me. Here, I'm gonna move this so you can see it.
yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Beautiful.
This was the most intricate one, and this one took a while too. And what it opened up for me, I'm gonna sit so you can see me. What it opened up for me, which I wasn't aware of, like the matriarchal line for me was so easy. Like, if you remember, it was like, and then you look at the patriarchal line, it's like, I could not get it. Like, I kept erasing and drawing and erasing. I'm like, what is happening? And what that opened up for me was that I wasn't as familiar and comfortable with my dad's side. And so since last year, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to get to know my dad's side. I need to talk to my dad and get to know about his history and get to know about his life and his brothers and his parents. Like, growing up, I'm where we have that in common where, like, I'm from Ghana too. My grandma was in Ghana when, she passed. So I didn't even get to see her, we've been here for more than 20 years. So it's been a long time. And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't get to see her. But, so my dad's side, we just were never close, like some of them will come around, but not all of them. So I don't really know much about that, and it was like, oh my gosh, I cannot finish this because I don't know much about my patriarchal line. I need to discover that. And the moment I opened that up, and just like, I remember the next time I went to go see my parents, I just asked my dad, how's your dad doing? And, that just kind of opened up where I just sat there and listened to him talk about his brothers, his life. Like, it opened up a whole thing. And then I would come home and I would start to like do it again. And just the healing process that came with that is still happening right now. Like, oh my gosh, it is beyond words. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll pass it over to you. And hello, Jackie. Thank you for joining us live. Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. What's the next one?
Beautiful. I love that this opened up like this. Yeah. Just a wish to explore, because that's really what it's all about. And I mean, even if there is no one to ask, there's still, I believe, all our ancestors are inside us. So there's going to be aspects inside us that may be strange to us, that we might not understand. And just looking at this family history, even if it's just an abstract drawing, no, even if the circles don't have names, because many of the circles won't have names. No, when we go into like 5, 6, 7 generations, like I don't know names, but still there's like this kind of feeling for it. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, so with the next process, we actually go deeper into that and go into the 4 main bloodlines, like the mother's mother, 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 and the father's father, father, father. And this was a process that I'm still kind of developing. It's probably going to change a little bit from last time, even though I like the one I did last time. And this is, yeah, really to look at, and I mean, there might be, for example, trauma on one side or something like this. And the drawing gives us a safe way to not really deal with it, but kind of just to look at it, to let it be there, to allow it to be there, and to integrate it. I think like a lot of it is about integration, because yeah, then we can connect. We don't need to make them our guides or our like everyday, companions, but I think it's very good and healing to look at it. And with the drawing, it's really about looking at it and bringing beauty and healing, and with the colors, like for me, really, the colors have this very profound healing ability.
It does.
That we can consciously use. No, if I feel kind of there's something weird, like just an inner, most of the time we can't really name it, but then I can ask myself what color would help, and there's gonna be an answer in that. So that it's very subtle, but yeah, there's a lot. No, it can grow very big.
I love it. And real quick,
Yeah.
Jackie says, I love the root picture. I just uprooted last year from Malaysia to Canada, still trying to settle. So Jackie, stay tuned, because there's an opportunity for you to experience the root part, which I think is so generous of her and just so gold that she gets to share this with more people. So stay tuned on that. You'll get to experience this. Yeah.
I'm just going to talk really quickly about the last one. The last one is a very, very intimate process. And I mean, you talked about like your process with your grandma. I started it with my grandma. It's like where we take a picture, a photograph of a known ancestor, someone that is remembered, even if you don't have to personally met him or her. I did, for example, one with my dad's father who died way before I was born, and is the only grandparent that I've never physically met. But I was always interested in it, and I know that there are some aspects that come from his line. So I was diving into that. And so this picture is really a way to very closely connect to one ancestor and really
Mm.
honor that one person. Um, yeah, and then of course, like in general, for me, these processes they needed a kind of stronger frame, I'm gonna call it. So I lead a meditation. I suggest ceremony. I mean, I'm kind of doing it in a way that in the meditation we go through a ceremony, and of course, I'm going to invite you to really, do something, give offerings or whatever. Um, at the end or whenever. And so we open up a space, a sacred space for this work, and then close it at the end. And I found that very important and very profound to include the art into a ceremony. So the art is part of the ceremony. And yeah, so to come to the wonderful invitation to everyone, I decided to do the first process, the roots, as a free drawing process for everyone this year. It's going to be on Sunday, October 2nd. And yeah, I just invite everyone to have a piece of paper and some pens and go with me into that space. And it's going to be like an introductory session for the whole series. So after that, you can join the whole series if you feel it. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to just spending time and giving energy and attention to my ancestral connections this October.
And it's like we talked about before, October, is known as the month of magic. It's really where you begin to experience the veil between the spiritual realm and the physical realm get very thin. So we have this access to our ancestors like we've never had through, in the first parts or
Yeah.
the rest of the the months. So from now till the end of the year, that veil is so thin. And so it's such a great way to pull in reinforcements to honor those who have come before us, and doing it through this process of art and transformation and beauty. It's beautiful. And I want to honor my ancestors through beauty. When we are going through healing, it can be so daunting and heavy. And there's nothing like to lift the energy, which you do so beautifully. And that's one of the things I love about you, your ability to hold sacred space, powerful sacred space. And that's why I call you the shamanic goddess. Because you do it so naturally, and I feel safe to dive in. And I love that you said, it's not about going there and experiencing the trauma and the pain. It's like I'm able to just witness. It's more like a witness. I witness what is happening, and I can transform it through the art. And you teach us to do that. It's so beautiful, right? So October is just so perfect for us to do this series, and I'm so glad that you're doing this again. And I'm just so freaking excited to do it again and see what else opens up. Oh my gosh. So if I guess I should let me ask you this instead of me trying to say this. Who is this for? Who would this be ideal for?
I think anyone who's ready to open that door, really. Anyone who wants to explore, maybe, I mean, anyone who's on that journey anyways, who's already connecting with ancestors, with spirits. It's going to give you a different tool. And anyone who's interested in it but doesn't know where to start, it gives you a good starting point. Yeah.
Powerful starting point.
Mm.
Jackie says, sounds amazing. It is incredible. Like words cannot even describe. I mean, I took this last October and I'm still buzzing from it. I mean, I have my art up and every time I look at it, it's like it transforms with me. It's like I'm still in that healing process and it's just, it's powerful. You know, like I surround myself with the best of the best. And, you know, people, women who are heart centered, people who are heart centered. And so that's one thing I love about this beautiful goddess here. It's like, she just, this is grace when it comes to her teaching, and there's power in that grace. You can feel that power, but it's like Mother Earth just hugging you with this warm embrace. It's like, hey, it's okay, just dive in, you're okay, I got you. And
Mm.
you know, I love you so much. You know, I've seen you go through a powerful transformation this year, and here you are, and you're like, I'm still here, I'll hold, like my heart is like leaping out of my chest right now. It's like, I'm here, let me hold you, let me guide you too. Like I will be your embrace as you hold others. I hope you
Mm.
know that.
I
I
appreciate
love
that.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I love you too. I thank you so much for, yeah, just opening the space. And I feel the same. I mean, the reason why I like to work with groups is because it automatically creates a buzzing space. And yeah, yeah.
It really
I'm
does.
looking forward to everyone. Mm-hmm.
So how can people, I have the link that you send me,
Oh, yeah,
but so
perfect.
that, you know, people who are watching it, they can just hear it. How can people sign up for, you know, to experience the route and then also, you know, moving forward?
Yeah, you can sign up through my website, neuroartproject.net. Um, and if it doesn't work on the website, there's a different link for Eventbrite because I've had some trouble. So if you don't get any emails from me, try the other link. Yeah, and then on Sunday, we're going to meet through Zoom. I'm going to record also. So people that can't make it live, they're going to be able to watch a recording. And yeah, what you need is a piece of paper and drawing materials and really whatever you can find. You don't have to run to the store and buy anything. I like to work with literally what is there. And eventually, of course, if you get into it, you might you might be tempted to
Don't get
get
me
some
started.
material. Yeah. But
Oh
yeah, to
man.
start really just show up. That's all we need. Show up
Yes.
and show up for yourself. Show up for your uh, yeah, your roots.
Yes. Jackie says, interesting. I was recently looking for art therapy and this shows up. There you go, Jackie. And
Yeah.
you are in great hands. And she said, I'm in for this. Yes. I will see you on Sunday, Jackie. You're in for a treat. So, before we end this, which, oh my gosh, I don't even want to end it because it's so delicious. What would you, is there a message? Is there something else that you would like to share?
Hmm. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Should have told me that before. And I
Nope.
messages. Um, from me, the message would be, well, I want to just say my gratitude for anyone who accept me as a guide, makes me a guide, because I'm kind of just learning to be with that role, I'm going to say. And I really appreciate anyone who's coming, crossing my path, who I can inspire with that art, and wherever you go from it. I'm glad if you give it a try and yeah, find your inner artist. This is really something that for me, for the longest time, I did not allow myself to be an artist until I found Neurographica, and the founder says that everyone is an artist. And for me, that was such a profound and deep realization to find out, yeah, I was an artist all along. And I have this powerful creative energy inside of me. And I believe that every single person, every single human being has this creative heart. We can find ways to express it. And yeah, if you're willing to try, then I would love to have you there.
Yay! Let's support this beautiful goddess. If you know anyone who would benefit from this, please feel free to share this video, this post, invite them to come join us on Sunday. I hope to see you there. It's going to be, yeah, you have no idea. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be fun. That's the best part of this. It's just, we have so much fun together as we heal and transform together. So we hope to see you there. From our hearts to yours. Until next time, we love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.